Hi, it's Melissa with my Membership Minute on Tuesday, August 9th, 2016. Here's what's new and hot in your membership community today. I have put in a new short yoga practice for you. I've noticed that you guys really like the 5-minute practices, so I'm trying to include more of them in our membership community. If you scroll down to the short yoga videos and click there, and then go down to the Yoga for Anxiety series. You can click here on the 5-minute breath for anxiety. And this practice isn't even 5 minutes long. And it's a great video that will help to purge emotional stagnation and heaviness from your heart and your chest. It'll help to move breath into your belly so that your nervous system can relax. And it's a practice that you can do 2 to 3 times a day to help to speed up the release of long-term anxiety. You might even want to do it as a 40-day practice. And in fact, I put together a few 40-day practices for you because I've noticed that when you find practices that you like to do for 40 days, when you find short practices, often you make a commitment to do them for 40 days. So if you go to the community playlist, I put together a playlist of ideas for 40-day practices. And there's lots of them on here, but if there are any that you'd like me to add to this list, then just let me know. I've recently come up with an idea of how to track a 40-day practice inspired by bullet journaling. So it looks like this, and it really reminds me of something that I used to do since I was really young, around 12 years old, and I used to prepare for my Royal Conservatory piano exams, and we had to do tons of scales for that. And so what I would do when we had to do that is I would put together charts for that. So we would have to do major scales and minor scales and chromatic scales and chords and arpeggios, and any of you who did music and piano growing up will remember that. And so that I didn't go over all the same scales every day, what I would do is I would put out every day of the week, and then I would come up with this formula so that I mixed them all up. And I had different major scale, a different minor scale, different chromatic scale, different chords and different arpeggios for each day of the week. And I was really motivated and really consistent with my practice of these. I got up every morning really early and I followed what was on my chart. And then at the end, after I did my exam, I would always burn the chart. So I wish I had one of these charts to show you, but after every exam I always burned it. It was kind of ceremonial. They were really beautiful, so it's kind of too bad I don't have them still. But so I have fond memories of making these charts. But what I like about this chart is that you've got a box for each day, the 40 days, and it feels a little more fluid than the charts that I used to make for the scales, because let's face it, as adults we have more responsibilities than we did as kids, and life happens. So some days you're gonna not feel well, or you might have a family emergency, and if you just put it on your calendar, and you mark the first day and the 40th day, it can be pretty hard to kind of stick with it, or you might fall off the bandwagon. But when you track it like this, if you miss a day, it's kind of easy just to keep going on. And I feel like there's a sense of accomplishment in filling in these blocks. So I'm going to see if Tim can put this up as a PDF for you. Let me know if you'd like it. And anyway, I've been having fun with making things like this as a way of goal setting for 40 days practices. So that's it. That's what I have for you this week. Enjoy the practice. Let me know if you want any more 40-day practices and if that chart's useful for you, and I will see you next week.